A chair sells for $40,000. The wood's worth $80. Here's what actually happened. Most people assume antique value comes from age and rarity alone. The older the object, the more it costs. That logic feels airtight. Scarcity drives price. But walk into any estate sale and you'll find 100-year-old furniture priced at $15. Meanwhile, a 1970s mid-century credenza with minor damage commands 5 figures. Age isn't the variable that matters. Something else is driving the system, and it's been hiding in plain sight. The conventional story is this: dealers source inventory from estates, auctions, and private collections. They authenticate it, clean it up, mark it up 200 to 400%, and sell to collectors. The markup covers overhead, expertise, and risk. Demand from wealthy buyers and decorators keeps prices climbing. Trends shift. Victorian falls out of favor, mid-century rises. Simple supply and demand. The system is transparent and rational, except that story doesn't explain why 2 nearly identical chairs sell for wildly different prices, or why provenance, the documented history of ownership, can multiply value by 10. It doesn't explain why certain dealers become tastemakers whose endorsement alone shifts what's fashionable. And it doesn't explain the feedback loop. Prices rise because wealthy collectors expect them to rise, so dealers raise asking prices, which signals scarcity, which triggers urgency, which justifies higher prices. It's circular. Rational markets don't work that way. The real mechanism is status and narrative. Antiques aren't purchased for function, most sit unused. They're purchased as cultural capital. A piece tells a story. I own something from the Gilded Age, or my eye recognized undervalued design before the market did. Dealers don't just sell objects, they curate and narrate them. A dealer with institutional credibility, someone with a gallery in the right neighborhood, or published expertise, has the power to reframe an object's meaning. That reframing shifts its price. Sourcing reveals this too. Dealers don't find inventory randomly. They develop relationships with estate liquidators, attend specialized auctions, and scout specific neighborhoods. They are mining for underpriced items, objects that haven't yet been narrated into their true value. A dealer spots a designer's piece before it trends. They acquire it cheaply. They position it in their gallery. Other dealers notice. Collectors follow. The price rises. The dealer's early acquisition was profitable not because the object was rare, but because they moved it from obscurity into a narrative that mattered. Market trends confirm it. Every 5 to 10 years a new era becomes collectible. Victorian drops. Art Deco peaks. Mid-century dominates for decades, then softens. Recently, 1980s and 1990s design, once considered worthless, started appreciating. Not because the objects changed, because dealers and influencers began narrating them as intentional, historically significant, or aesthetically ahead of their time. The same object worth $40 in 2010 is worth $400 in 2024. The supply didn't shrink. The narrative expanded. This means antique dealing is fundamentally a narrative business operating inside a scarcity framework. Dealers profit by controlling information, knowing what's undervalued before others do, and by shaping taste through curation and storytelling. Risk comes not from inventory spoilage, but from narrative collapse. If a designer falls from favor, or a historical period becomes unpopular, the dealer holds expensive stock nobody wants. The system is stable as long as wealthy collectors keep entering the market, and dealers keep finding new stories to tell. But it's not stable by economic fundamentals. It's stable by consensus. Understanding this matters because it reveals how value works in markets where utility is secondary to meaning. Antiques aren't unique. The same pattern shapes art, wine, watches, and collectibles. Price isn't discovered, it's constructed. And construction requires gatekeepers, dealers, critics, auction houses, who have the credibility to narrate objects into worth. When you see a price tag, you're seeing not the object's age or rarity. You're seeing who had the power to tell its story first. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research if you want to understand the hidden economics behind how markets actually work, not how textbooks say they work. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.